Hi, my name is Andrei Kudryavtsev, and I design MIDI boards for MIDI through, MIDI splitting, MIDI merging functionality that you might have already seen with different number of ports, what's the number of merge ports, split ports, and so on. And the idea was to make them extremely robust but still give some flexibility on the way how you set up the routing, how many output ports you have, how you split it between the input ports. And the boards are really reliable and designed for robustness. But they do lack some of features that, in order to have these features, you have to introduce significant microcontroller, such as if you want to do like MIDI events filtering, or you want to do some merging of something like a bigger MIDI port, like 3 MIDI ports. And so I came with an idea to make a breakout board for the Teensy microcontroller, which I like a lot, and I use it in my other projects like MacroPod, which is the single knob MIDI controller with OLED display and output ports. And these breakout boards I designed for Teensy 3.2 and 4.0, so that's a version for 3.2. It has the 3 MIDI input ports and 3 MIDI output ports. It has, in addition to that, we all understand that it's never enough to give you a functionality of only breakout boards. So I have all the pins coming from the Teensy out here on just the normal pins that you have. You may use the DPON cables, and you can introduce another features that you want, so such as buttons or LEDs or whatever you want to add in addition to that. It's very easy and convenient to add to that board without soldering at all. These boards available in a form factor of just of PCB alone. You can solder it, or it can come as a kit. And kit comes with 3 optocouplers with all the passive components that you need to have here. These boards do not require external power. The power is provided by the Teensy. It's enough and sufficient to power these 3 optocouplers here. And all you need to do is just to plug a USB cable to your Teensy controller, and that's it. Everything else will be working right away. Obviously, in order to get it functioning in the way you want, you have to program your Teensy with the Teensy DNA framework and to provide some features such as merging features or MIDI interface features. So there are some examples that's already included with this. So such as when you connect just the Teensy, you can straight away get your 3 input-output MIDI interface over USB, which is very convenient. And it's a class compliant, so it can be used on the standard computers as well as it can be used on iOS and Android devices. But the main question is, the board looks great, so how can you make the complete device with that board? In other words, you have to use some sort of enclosure, and that's a typical question that I get for my other boards. So the simple idea would be just to take a couple of plastic standoffs to cut acrylic panel or wood panel or metal panel, depends how you would like to do that, and combine it together, and then you'll get a assembled unit. So let me show you how it looks. And now, as you may see, we've just added the top and the bottom panels with few standoffs here, so it's a 20mm and 5mm standoffs. You'll get the look of complete unit, and it's a robust unit. Everything is closed from this side. You still have enough of space to put some extra components if you want. Well, for instance, easy example, if you design a MIDI synthesizer with Teensy and you want to put an output here, all you need to do is just to take a mini jack here, and you still have enough room to place it here. You don't need to solder it because you have a pins coming outside of a Teensy, and you just solder wires to mini jack, put the DPON cables into Teensy, and then you get again the unit with the functionality as you need. Similar, if you want to introduce like OLED display, you can do it as well by mounting that underneath that. You still have enough of room here. So that's a Teensy 3.2. As I said, there's a similar version for Teensy 4, and the only difference for Teensy 4 that it's a significantly higher performance controller, and it has way more serial hardware interfaces. So this board is designed for 5 MIDI inputs and 5 MIDI outputs. Everything else remains the same, so it's designed for basically for the pin out of 4.0. It's not cross-compatible for 3.2, so you have to remember that it's dedicated to 4.0, this one is dedicated to 3.2, but it still has the same idea that you have pins around the board, the Teensy board, then you put it inside, you have extra pins if you want to do some extra functionality. You have 5 optocouplers here, and basically for 5 MIDI inputs, and you have 5 MIDI outputs. Everything else looks very, very similar. Same idea for the merging and extra firmware functionality. It comes together with some basic examples of merging and MIDI interface functionality, but your creativity is the only limit to get it extra. So thanks a lot. See you next time.